Does your deadlift technique suck? Chances are, if it does, you are making one of these 5 super common mistakes. I've seen these issues in tons of lifters when they first join the team, so today we are breaking each one down, why it's a problem, how to fix it, and how we clean them up to unlock way stronger pulls. The first mistake, tipping forward off the floor. This one is huge because it's usually taught the wrong way. If you're tipping off the floor, like Eric is here conventional or Lily over here on sumo, you've probably been told to just lean back harder or get further behind the bar. That advice, absolute garbage. Tipping forward doesn't mean you need to lean back more. It means you're already too far back. Your body isn't in a position to be able to drive straight up, so it collapses forward to find better leverages. The fix? Quit trying to lean back. Stop forcing your hips too low and start with your shoulders directly over the bar. We cue foot pressure in the setup and then use that pressure to create quad tension as we drop the hips and drive the knees forward. That tension will naturally land you in the spot with your shoulders over the bar and help you find the right hip height intuitively. And to practice that position, we love Borshako style pulls to the knees because they give you tons of practice on just the initial push off the floor while giving near immediate feedback on positioning. Because if you tip forward on that push, you will feel it. So on the next rep, stay over the bar and push through the quads. That alone cleaned up Eric and Lily's start positions almost instantly. The second mistake, rebending the knees to get to lockout. This is the classic ramp or hitch finish like Logan is doing here, and I did it for years myself. Why is it a problem? Well, if you're competing, that is a red light every time. The fix here comes in 2 parts. First, intent, and second, strength. On the intent side, again, we cue lifters to push through the forefoot so they can flex their quads earlier and get the knees locked sooner so they aren't able to rebend to get them under the bar. On the strength side, if the knees still need to rebend, even with perfect intent trying to flex the quads, we're probably looking at a weak link. And if it breaks down near the knees, it's hamstrings, so we hammer Nordics, GHRs, and leg curls if you don't have access to either of those. If it breaks down closer to lockout, it's glutes, so we push heavy 45-degree back extensions. Logan started attacking his hamstrings hard while also learning to flex his quads even harder, and within weeks, his lockout looks way cleaner. We've still got work to do, but night and day from where he first started. The third mistake, stripper pulls or super stiff legged pulls. These might look different, but they come down to the same root issue, not enough quads. Chris was trying to act like a stripper with his hips shooting way up and back off the floor, whereas Pia was too stiff with hardly any knee bend. Fixing both of these takes 2 things, better intent and stronger quads. For intent, we find forefoot pressure and flex the quads to then use the hamstrings to leg curl the knees forward so that we have quad tension to push out of. For strength, Chris responded really well to just more quad work. High bars, front squats, and hack squats. For Pia, who's a little bit different because she's dealing with some nasty knee arthritis, we went with trap bar pulls to cue her to push the knees forward as far as she can control and then initiate like a leg press. Both lifters now have way more leg in their pull, and Chris turned that into a huge platform PR. The fourth mistake, a loose upper back. Here is Matt. Watch his upper back as he breaks off the floor because it is all over the place. And if your upper back isn't locked in, you can't transfer force from your legs to the bar efficiently. So how did we fix it? Well, we learned how to pack down the upper back. Here's how we build that skill. First, machine rows with intent. Round into thoracic flexion on the way down, and then pull into thoracic extension on the way up while cueing a straight arm pull down against the machine's leverage. Second, slightly rounded stiff leg deadlifts. These mimic what we want to feel in the deadlift itself. So once you're there with that slightly rounded setup, pull yourself into the bar like a straight arm pull down. Get the shoulder blades lower on the rib cage without leaning behind the bar. And once Matt started locking into his stiff legs, his deadlift position started looking way more solid. But we still have more work to do. The fifth mistake, oversetting the upper back. This one is kind of the opposite of Matt's issue because Justin here is doing what a lot of lifters are taught. Big chest, scaps retracted, arch super hard. Why is that a problem? First, he can't hold that position under load, and neither can you once it gets heavy. Second, when you pull the chest up that hard and pull the shoulder blades backwards, you're effectively shortening your arms and make your leverages worse off the floor. We want long arms, so we let them hang. Here's how we fix it. On setup, reach your arms as far down as you can. Once your grip is set, use leg pressure to push your ribcage up away from the bar. This pulls slack both out of you and the bar. Then we set the lats by pulling the scaps down and not together. Why down? Well, I know a lot of people think of the lats as a rower, which is kind of what they do because when the arms are out in front of us, they do act as a shoulder extensor. But what we want to happen in the context of a deadlift is when the arms are anchored to the bar, the lats attachment on the inside of the humerus is going to pull the whole shoulder complex downwards. So when you cue them to pull the shoulders down towards the hips, you get the position you want without ruining your leverages by sucking the shoulder blades back. For this, Justin used the same rounded rows and stiff legs as Matt, but we also needed to build thoracic erector strength so we could control that slight flexion and still be able to pull out of it in extension in order to finish strong. It's still a work in progress, but he's learning to break this habit, which can be really hard. So, are you making one of these mistakes? Because if you are, now you know how to fix it and get things back on track towards bigger and bigger pulls. And if you're still stuck with technique, programming, or even intent, hit the link below, join the team, because I will be able to give you daily one-on-one attention to help you start making real progress again. We got 335 lifters on the team right now, and once we hit 350, prices are going to be going up. So grab your spot now to lock in that lower rate, and let's level up your deadlift plus everything else in your powerlifting game.